What's going on YouTube? And in today's video, we're going to be doing a tour of the Shift Shack. Many of you may have asked why we're called the Shift Shack, and it's mainly because my simulator is in a shed, or a shack as such. So yeah, we're going to go over my £10,000 simulator here, and go over the costs of each bit of equipment, including the wheelbase, pedals, all my steering wheels, the PC, etc. And just, yeah, a little tour of everything else in the shed. First off, we're starting with the boring bits, which is the sofa. This was bought for about £50 off some random bloke across the street, but I like it. It's got retractable this, so you know, you got 5 people in this sofa, and you want to get someone else on there. Wow, look at that. Right, and you may be thinking, this sofa cannot get any better than that. This is actually a sofa bed. Let me show you. As you can see, for a little sofa bed that was only 50 quid, not bad at all. Plenty of room, not the most comfiest. Slept in here multiple times, and it's not too cold in here actually. You'll be surprised, because heater heats this room up very fast, very boring. So I'm gonna go on to the next thing. My mini fridge, usually full with Red Bulls because my sister works for Red Bull, but at the moment we have apple juice, tropical juice, and a bottle of wine. Not very exciting. We're gonna get onto the exciting part in a minute, which is the sim rig. Right, so onto the simulator. This is a Track Racer TR120 frame. Very solid, not a lot of movement. Where is the movement? There is no movement in this rig, and I love it. Something that is also good about a rig like this, which is aluminium extrusion, you can add all sorts of bits to it just using Tina. Such as over here, I've made custom sort of bracket just to mount my shifter, my sequential, and my handbrake. And then moving on to another very important part of this rig, which is the wheelbase, which is behind this Moser multifunction stalk thing, which has indicators, wipers, cruise control, which is very cool. This wheelbase is a Moser R16. That means it has 16 newton meters of torque, and honestly, it is absolutely great. I've never had a single fault with this wheelbase. It's done me very proud. I've had this for about 2 years now, and that is not me being biased because I'm sponsored by them. They are genuinely very good products. This is the Track Racer GT style bucket seat. This is surprisingly a very comfortable bucket seat for what it is, which is good because on a simulator, you're usually going to be sat here for quite a long time if you actually enjoy sim racing, or if you're into doing endurance races, then that's perfect for you. Let me get in the motherfucker. This seat does come with seat rails if you choose, which you can adjust. I've got these pretty far length back, but if you're going for more of an F1 style, you can lean it back even more. I highly recommend. It's also very strong. Oh shit. And now the PC. This isn't actually a very high spec PC. It has a 3060 Ti, Ryzen 5 5600X, 32 gigs of RAM. Not amazing. To be honest, it only just about runs these screens, which are 32-inch, 75 hertz monitors. They're not gaming monitors, they're just normal monitors. 75 hertz is enough for sim racing. I'm not running no FPS games, you know, I'm not playing flipping Overwatch or anything like that. But yeah, these do the job. They're pretty cheap for what they are. Yeah, that's about it for that. I've got way too many steering wheels. Does anyone want one? Because you're not having one, sorry. This is a Momo wheel from a Mark 1 MX-5, I think. I don't actually know. It's nice because it hasn't got any buttons on it or any paddles to get in the way. This is perfect for things like drifting and rally. Moving on to a more expensive wheel. This is the Moser RSV2. Has all the fancy things you'd need, such as paddles, twisty dials, joysticks, normal buttons, and that's all you really need in a steering wheel, you know? You don't really need anything more than that with sim racing. Good for drifting because it is circular. Moving on to a non-circular wheel. This is also a Moser RSV2 wheel, but I got a different wheel rim for it. A D-shaped wheel from eBay. This has the same functions as the other one because it's the same wheel. Listen to the sound of these paddles. Nice. Another wheel. This is the Moser GS V2 wheel. This is more of a Formula style wheel, more GT3 Formula type thing. You know, I don't really do a lot of that. So this wheel is kind of just sat around a lot of the time. It's real forged carbon fiber. Same with the RSV2. I like it though, very comfortable. Shifters. I have 2 shifters. I have a H-pattern shifter. Very clunky, very similar to a gated manual shifter. And then we also have my sequential shifter. I have only just recently mounted because I couldn't find a way to mount it. But now I found a way to mount it. I use it quite a lot. Anyway, I also get asked what this handbrake is a lot of the time. This is a Moser HBP handbrake with a bike handle and bike grip on it because why not? I wanted it a bit longer. I wanted a bike grip on it. So I did that. Got an ODI bar end on it. But yeah, works sweet, very good for skids. Moving on to the pedals, these are Simforge Mark 1 pedals with the clutch, obviously, because I do a lot of drifting and a lot of rally, and I want as much realism as I can. These are actually very cheap for what they are. Most high-end pedals like this will be around £600 onwards. These are only £300. It's a company in India, actually. They work very well. And then the brake, as you can see, very stiff. Ugh. Well, that part isn't, and then there's this bit that's very stiff. The clutch has a nice little biting point effect to it. This is the, what is it? Hang on. The DOF Reality M2 seat mover. I had this a while now. It is just a seat mover, so the whole rig doesn't move. And you lot are going to argue, that's not realistic, that's not realistic. But it does add realism to your simulator, believe it or not, because you still get sense of G-force. You go around a corner, it chucks you to the left. You know, you go around another corner, it chucks you to the right. You go up a hill, or you floor it, it leans back. You brake hard, it leans forward. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is sort of unnatural the way you are moving away from the steering wheel. But in a real car, that will still happen. It's cheap for what it is. This is only over about £1,000, which, yeah, that is a lot of money. For what it is, that is cheap. Butt kicker. A lot of people don't know what this is, and the clue's sort of in the name, to be honest. As if the motion wasn't already enough, I have this for the vibrations of the car. So whenever you go over rumble strips, it vibrates the whole rig. You rev your car up, you feel the vibration. It's sort of like a mini subwoofer. A lot of people run more than one of these on a sim rig, but when you've got motion, you don't really need too many of them. One is enough. Here we have my amp for my speakers, and this is the butt kicker amp. You can control how strong it is and some other things that I don't know what it does. This controls all my speakers. I have 4 speakers in here. There's one here. There is one here. This is good for when I'm sat at this desk, because I do use my sister's setup to edit. And then there's another one in this corner, so I can hear the sound on my PC. And then another one over here, just because. That's pretty much it for the speakers. Should we get a little demo? Sound quality is all right on these, actually. Yeah, well, obviously YouTube copyright, so I've got to play no copyright sounds, and obviously the absolute banger. The sound quality of these speakers are actually pretty good, but obviously I've got to play no copyright sounds for YouTube. Normally I do listen to normal people music, not that. I'm going to explain what is up here and why these are on the wall. These are not just random things I found off the floor. Well, that might be. No, I actually bought it. This is from my first car, which was a Toyota Corolla E12. That got wrapped around a lamppost. And then this one was not my fault, but someone pulled out in front of me, and that was my Polo June that got written off. I love that car, and it's gone. The light. Where's the light coming from? I've got 2 LED strips in here. It doesn't look tacky because I've got diffusion strips on it. Lights up the room fine. Got a little remote here that I can change colour. Right, so that pretty much concludes the tour of the Shift Shack. I hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments down below. I will put the links to all of my equipment that is used on my simulator in the description below, and I will see you in the next one.